Did you know that veterans own nearly 5% of all U.S. businesses? That's the reason of why I will list you steps that will help you unleash your full potential, so you can unleash the full potential inside you. For starters, let's say that war and businesses are more alike than you think. Both are stressful and uncertain environments, and both need skills, courage, and discipline in order to survive. Leadership consists on being the person with the highest standards on the group. In the Army, you rule by being the standard to follow, not by having certain philosophy. If you didn't follow the standard, you would be severely punished. Let's explain how would you integrate this on your daily routine. I want to cite the book 8 Lessons in Military Leadership by Robert Kiyosaki for inspiring this video. The link is on the description. Chapter 1. Military Goals. Most people start businesses focusing on the following items: product, legal advice, systems, communication, cash flow. However, military academies focus on mission, teamwork, leadership. Check how both objectives have massive differences. Traditional businesses focus on individual goals, while military academies focuses on teamwork. You have been programmed to be successful individually, but in the military, you can only be successful if your team is also successful. Let's say, for example, you're in charge of a group of 5 18-years-old recruits. In this case, you're responsible of getting everyone on time for class. And if someone gets late or broke the rules, you were to get penalized, along with the offender. Managing 5 people is a difficult task because you don't know what the other people are going to do, and you're constantly stressed out trying to manage the situation. That's the same with enterprises. Keep in mind that businesses would be easy if it wasn't for managing people. Chapter 2. Military Discipline. People say stuff like, I want to lose weight, I want more money, I want to pay my debts, and the answer I'll say to you is boring, repetitive, and you're sick and tired of hearing it. But there it goes. Discipline. No more, no less. People get comfortable with being overweight because changing that is uncomfortable. People get comfortable with a low-paying job because starting a business is risky and uncomfortable. The thing with discipline is that you get on a situation where you get on an uncomfortable position for months, and only after. You may taste a little bit of progress. The military are particularly good at this. In the military, you may get tasks such as standing on the cold for hours without making a single movement, or marching towards any location. And if you don't follow the rules, guess what? You would face some sergeant screaming at you in your face in front of everyone. But with time, you would realize that actual discipline is not what other authority does to you, but what you do to yourself. There are 2 types of discipline: external and internal. The difference between a military veteran and a recruit is that a recruit needs external while the military veteran endures by himself. On military academies, if you don't have internal discipline, external discipline becomes more harsh. The more you try to cheat, take shortcuts, lie, and disobey, the more painful turns the external disciplinary measures. However, in the civilian world, it is common to not receive external discipline at all. If you're broke and overweight, it's probable that nobody cares, and the only person that can enforce you to change is yourself. If you're seeking a way to become a better entrepreneur, hear me out. Most veterans retiring after serving the military encounter a civil society where nobody gets penalized for nothing. People arrive late, people lie about being sick when they're not, and most people lie insubordinate and make excuses for everything. Doing this behavior as a Marine for one day would get you shot or expelled in no time. The good news for you, an entrepreneur, is that most people won't make it. I repeat to you, most people won't make it. Most people quit the military on the first weeks because in the civil life they were bratty and pretend to do the same on the Army. And that is an actual advantage to you. Think about it. It is easier to you to compete on an environment where most people are incompetent. And believe me, it is the case. Just look around you, and you may realize that 1 in 500 people are competent, while the other 499 don't know what are they doing. Chapter 3. Discipline Edges. I just told you about prioritizing discipline for your entrepreneur road, but now let's talk about what are the edges that maintain discipline solid and consistent. The edges are mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. If one of these edges fall, then the whole scheme falls. Let's say, for example, that someone is trying to lose weight. Then he has the physical aspect going on. But the time he sees a chocolate cake standing on a shelf, then his emotions plays on, and he screw up. So, if you're rolling as a business leader, and someone tells you he or she can't do something, then you must be able to identify if that person has a mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional issue. You also must be able to manage the fear of no having a secure check every month, and even run the business when there is no money. Chapter 4. Respect. Believe it or not, you're not living alone, and you're not a solitary wolf. Society has built you to be a loner. The truth is that in military contexts, respect is the one and only one line you don't cross. Because in the military, you must interact with other people, not alone. In real combat, respect is even more important than your rank. One of the first things you learn on the military is to become a gentleman. For teenagers, being a badass and a punk is well seen. Because for some reason, teenagers think that's cool and attractive. But that is not the case. Most salesmen aims for close the deal, but military veterans care about the deal. Are you caring for the other person? Also, you must learn to receive and give feedback. I mean, if you're going to scream to someone that he did something bad, then you also want to keep clear that you're also caring for him. Chapter 5. Be quick. If you get to a fast food restaurant, you won't want to get your food in 30 minutes, otherwise you would go to another site, right? Let's take, for example, General Motors. General Motors was the biggest car manufacturer on the world until they couldn't keep up with the upcoming changes on the automotive industry. Eventually, GM got on a cycle of bankruptcy, rescues, and all sort of tricks and maneuvers to keep up with the competence. Until one day, they didn't exist anymore. Let's take, for example, McDonald's. It is much probable for you to make a Big Mac better than McDonald's. But now, can you produce Big Macs at the same time and quantity as McDonald's? Yeah, that is the difference between McDonald's and a regular person. So in your organization, you must be optimizing your process time at all costs, especially on restaurant or production businesses. Chapter 6. Keep on keeping on. You've learned to focus on your goals on the group, not just in yourself. And you've learned to manage and improve your discipline so you can achieve whatever project you're trying to implement. You've learned the importance of respect and speed on your organization. And by mastering all those traits, you're guaranteed to have success on your business. However, I would like to mark an important key point: practice. If you want to raise your speed and respect on your organization, then you have to practice it. You've been educated to reprehend yourself for committing mistakes, but the truth is that all successful people on the world have committed more mistakes than you think. And the only way you can have that bright idea that made you millionaire is to experiment once and again. So if you fail, try again.